thanks so much, Mr. Chairman. And first, I do look forward to continuing to work with you on permitting reform. As you said, there's more we can do, there's more we should do, there's more we need to do, and that's why I've joined with every Republican on this committee in introducing the SPUR Act. It stands for Spur Permitting of Underdeveloped Resources Act. And America needs to generate more, not less energy. We need more homegrown energy, natural gas, coal, uranium, you name it, we need it all. We need to have a reliable electric grid. That means generating more, not less, reliable and available and affordable power. A transmission line without reliable and available electricity is like a stream bed without water flowing through it. So as we continue to work on permitting reform, Mr. Chairman, we need to focus on producing more reliable American energy and not just on how to transport it. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I'm so grateful that you called today's hearing. Reliable, resilient, affordable electric service is indispensable to our nation. When the electric grid fails, it puts our other essential services at risk or makes them unavailable. The consequences are catastrophic. There's no disputing the fact that electricity needs to be produced at the instant people call for it. Men and women who enable our electric grids to work must hold production and demand in balance all the time. They must do this year in, year out, no matter what time of day, no matter what the weather happens to be. No excuse, no finger pointing is acceptable when an electric system fails. We know the sad reality. Electric service in this country is at an increasing risk of unacceptable risk of failure. One can't predict blackouts, yet given current trends, one can reasonably project that we will have more what regulators are calling unplanned outages. Writing's on the wall. Summer 2020, California's energy policies left the state's electric grid operators with no other choice but to impose rolling blackouts on its residents. February 2021, cold weather, insufficient baseload power resulted in major blackout in Texas. December 2022, cold weather and a failure to secure sufficient natural gas nearly led to a blackout in the entire mid-Atlantic. After the 2021 blackout, 2 of the 4 witnesses before us today sat here at the same witness table and warned us of similar risks to the grid. They will warn us of that again today. Just last month, members of the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission warned us of the same threats. Commissioner Danley said there is, quote, an impending but avoidable reliability crisis. Commissioner Christie said there is a looming reliability crisis. Neither commissioner issued these warnings lightly. Commissioner Danley said, I fervently hope to be proven wrong. Commissioner Christie said, I do not use the term crisis for melodrama, but because it is an accurate description of what we're facing. Commissioner Christie put it succinctly when he said, the problem generally is not the addition of intermittent resources, primarily wind and solar, but the far too rapid subtraction of dispatchable resources, especially coal and gas. I think we're going to hear similar testimony from our witnesses today. Electric grid operators must have access to a diverse set of resources. That includes coal, natural gas, nuclear and hydropower, along with wind and solar. Electric transmission can help with a big challenge, weather-related or otherwise, whatever comes along. Transmission helps one region lean on another. Still, we must have electrons to put on the transmission lines. We must address the problem of premature retirements of plants that generate power at all times. Wind and solar energy now supply about 15% of the nation's power. They don't replace always-on power. When the wind doesn't blow and the sun doesn't shine, we get no power. We must acknowledge the indispensable value of power plants that generate electricity whenever they are called upon. Last fall, President Biden said, we're going to be shutting coal plants down all across America. Just last month, the EPA proposed new regulations to shut down both coal and natural gas plants. President Biden is doubling down on reckless policies. They are a danger to our electric grid. We need to restore balance. President Biden's administration rarely lets a day go by without talking about what they mistakenly and inaccurately call the climate crisis. It's time they acknowledge their policies are creating a reliability crisis. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.